hear me, and I'm going to do a quick overview of the slicer, how to set it up, and how to get the settings right for our printers and for what you need. So you want to open Cura, Ultimaker Cura, which is the slicing software, after you make your design. In some CAD program like Onshape, you end up with an STL file, which means standard tessellation language. Basically takes your design and turns it into a whole bunch of triangles. And then what the slicer does is it turns all those triangles into layers, and it makes it into a bunch of slices. And you can picture a 3D printer as basically a computer-powered hot glue gun that lays down hot glue in layers. So I have the two printers, actually three printers set up here. This is my personal printer, this is one of the two printers at school, and this is the other one. So I'm going to show you how to load those printers if you haven't done it already. Make sure you have the most up-to-date version of Cura, so you can go to Extensions, Update Checker, check for updates, and then to add a printer, you go like this. You add printer. If it is one of the Ultimakers, you click that. It is a local printer because none of our printers are networked, and you're going to add a non-networked printer. And the one we have is the Ultimaker 3 Extended. So you'll add that. We already have it. Maybe it'll appear twice, maybe it won't. Yeah. Okay. So I can manage the printers and take that one off, hypothetically. Okay. And that's how you set the printer. The other things are you want the settings to be right. So these are your default settings over here. Standard quality means the layer thickness is 0.2 millimeters. 10% infill, so this is like if you cut the object in half. Most of 3D printed objects are not solid plastic. They are solid on the outside, but that's like a skin of plastic, and then on the inside it's basically a framework of triangles or squares or hexagons. This symbol means bed adhesion, so this thing here is the bed, and it lays down a bunch of extra material so that whatever you print stays put and stays on the bed. I'm sorry, I reversed that. This is support, this is bed adhesion. So if you want to expand any of these, you go here. Generally, the settings I like to use are either standard quality or fast. Sometimes it's in the form of speeds, but standard quality is fine. Infill, 10%. Triangles are good. If yours doesn't say that, you should do that, either 10 or 12%. And triangles, don't change the material, the speed, travel. Support, yes. So generate support. That means if it needs it, you have things like holes and overhangs. It will make little supportive structures. And usually it's normal or tree. I personally prefer tree supports because I think they are faster and easier to break off when you print them. And then you go down to build plate adhesion. Just for safety, I think brim. Brim is the middle level. Raft makes a gigantic chunk underneath it, which I think is waste time and material. Skirt usually doesn't do much, so it just draws a line around the outside. So basically it gets it flowing, but brim is a good one. Okay, and those are your settings. You can close out whatever STL you put in there. So if I'm gonna put this in here, this is a gear rack. Okay, if you want to use any of the settings, you can select it. This can move it. You can already move it by dragging any of these. It kind of automatically puts something in the middle of the build plate, but you can move those. This is scaling it up or down if you want it to be bigger. Make sure uniform scaling is checked. And therefore, if you change one of these and I want to make it half the size, make a 50% enter. It's half the size in all the dimensions at once. And this rotates it. You can grab these and it snaps, so it's every 15 degrees. You can turn it in any one of these three axes. Okay, go back. Okay, and then you hit slice. It will slice it, tell you the time, how much, in weight of material you use and how much length on the roll it will use. And it's good to plug in your USB drive and say save to disk. Instead of save to disk, it will say save to removable drive, and that's what you want. This up here, preview, this shows you the layers. So this bluish teal color, this is that's the brim. It's the color of support material. Yellow is the color of skin on a flat surface, and red is sort of an unsupported vertical surface. This whole thing will take only 30 layers, 53 minutes, and then you can also break it down. You zoom in, this will show you what's on the inside. You take it all the way down to layer 1, then it builds the triangular structure on the inside, and boom, you're done. Make sure you use the naming conventions that are in the assignment, and that should be all you need to know really about slicing. So good luck. Thanks for watching.